I glanced up at Yuki, expecting her to laugh, but she didn't. "Is this some kind of initiation thing?" I asked, hoping that maybe this was just some odd tradition for new staff. "No," Yuki said, shaking her head, her voice quieter now. "It sounds ridiculous, I know, but trust me, you'll want to follow them. I've heard things." I frowned, studying her face for any sign of humor, but there was none. She wasn't joking. This was something real for her. "Are you sure this is all of them?" I asked. Yuki hesitated, biting her lip as though trying to remember something else. I think that's everything. I'm still getting used to it myself." She forced a smile. "It should be fine if you follow these." Before I could ask anything else, Yuki grabbed her things and left the station, leaving me standing there in silence. I looked at the clock. 10:20 p.m. The night was just beginning. I folded the paper carefully, slipping it into the pocket of my scrubs. A joke, I thought. It has to be. But something about the way Yuki had looked at me, the serious expression on her face, it was unsettling. The hospital was unnervingly quiet at night. The hum of the fluorescent lights and the occasional distant creak of old pipes were the only sounds that broke the silence. I found myself wandering the halls just to keep myself busy, the sense of isolation heavy in the empty corridors. By 12:30 a.m., I made my way toward the West Wing, the folded piece of paper still in my pocket. There wasn't any particular reason I went there. Maybe I was testing the ridiculous rules to see if they were just part of some strange tradition for newcomers. Or maybe it was the pull of curiosity. What if Yuki was right? The West Wing was empty, as I expected. Its long, dimly lit hallways seemed to stretch on forever, the shadows from the rooms creeping out toward the center of the hall. I glanced into each room as I passed, but they were all empty. Just empty white beds and old medical equipment, unused and forgotten. I checked my watch. 12:42 a.m. My fingers grazed the folded paper in my pocket and I sighed. Might as well get it over with. I began checking the windows in the hallway. First one was closed, the second one, closed, third one as well. I kept moving, my footsteps echoing unnaturally loud in the still air. The cold from outside seemed to seep in through the walls, making the air heavy and uncomfortable. As I approached the final window, my breath caught in my throat. It was open, just slightly, but enough for the cold night air to drift in, brushing against my skin with a chill that felt too deliberate, too personal. I stood there for a moment, frozen by the absurdity of it all, but I shook it off, telling myself that old buildings had quirks like this. Windows didn't always close properly. Still, I felt a strange reluctance to touch it, to shut it. It was as though something wanted it open, needed it open. I closed the window and the latch clicked with a sound that felt final, like closing a door to something unseen. The silence that followed was louder than the click itself. Relieved, I quickly left the West Wing, trying to shake off the feeling that something had changed. It's just an old hospital, nothing more. By 1:30 a.m., the hospital had settled into an eerie kind of stillness. I returned to the nurses' station, trying to distract myself by checking the security monitors. Most of the patients were asleep, their rooms quiet, except for room 5. The man inside had been pacing back and forth for a while. I didn't think much of it at first. Nighttime restlessness wasn't unusual here, especially among the patients.